please, God?
This is God.
Grubman, get your ass up and make a review.
Oh, thank God it was just a dream. Or was it? Oh, hey! So you're back for another thrilling role-playing game review. Today I'm going to do a game called Slasher Flick, which is a game specifically designed to emulate the slasher films. Those are movies that include a psychopathic killer who's systematically murdering a series of victims in brutal and grotesque fashions. Hey, and you get to play one of those victims in this game. So I know what you might be thinking right now. I already have Horror Game X that I use for all my horror role-playing needs. The thing you have to understand about Slasher Flick is it is a game designed specifically to do one single thing. To role-play the slasher films, those B movies like Jason and Freddy and the Halloween movies and stuff like that. That is what it does. Every single thing in this book is designed from the ground up to emulate that specific genre, and it does it excellently. The entire book is actually filled with things about the genre itself. It talks about the tropes and the stereotypes, and it gives a rundown of several movies. It tells you all the things you're going to want to include as a game master or a director in this game, and all the things that the players are going to want to do to make this genre work. And when all the pieces come together, it is an awesome experience. Another really unique and cool thing about this game is that each of the players isn't only going to play one character. They're going to play one primary character, but they're going to play a bunch of secondary characters as well. These are either going to be secondary characters that they play 2 or 3 of through the whole game, or else they're a group of characters, secondary characters, that all the players get to play at different times. Secondary characters are the ones that usually die a little bit sooner because they're a little bit weaker and they're a little less important. But sometimes the secondary characters are the only ones that make it through the adventure. Beyond that, the game master plays the tertiary characters, which are the real unimportant people, like the town sheriff that comes knocking on the door, or the checkout girl at the convenience store. And of course, the director plays the killer, who's totally different than all the player characters because he's psycho. Before I show you a character, it's important to understand some basics about the die mechanics. First, each character has 4 stats that rank him mentally, physically, and emotionally. These are ranked as either poor, below average, normal, or good, above average. If you're a poor in something, you use D10s. If you're a normal, you use D8s. If you're a good, you use D6s. Whenever you are making a stat check, you roll 4 of the appropriate dice. What you are hoping to get are any matching dice. These matching dice indicate successes. You usually only need 1 match for most checks, but more are better, especially during the kill scene, which we will describe later. So, let's take a look at a character. Here is the Wiz, a gnarly, his personality, surfer, his role. He's my primary character. To the left you see his 4 stats and their rank, which determine what size die he uses. Under the stats are positive or negative qualities the character has. These are tools for role-playing the character as well as possible modifiers to checks. Positive qualities add a die to your die pool, while negative qualities take a die away. For example, if the Wiz finds his girlfriend's head in the cooler, he'd have to make a freak-out check, which is a spirit check. Since he has the too stoned to be scared quality, he rolls 5 die instead of the normal 4. Whoa, man! There's a head in the cooler. Oh. To the right are survival points. Primary characters start with 1. These come into play during the kill scene, which, again, we'll talk about in a moment. Genre points are awarded when you do certain things or roleplay really well. They're used to do special things or alter the story. Primary characters have special abilities. For example, The Wiz has stupid action. This gives him the choice of turning his character over to the director twice during the game. The director then makes the Wiz do something really stupid, and as a reward, I gain 2 genre points for it. Finally, we have a list of equipment that might or might not come in handy. Now, about 50% of your night will be used, just role-playing and building suspense. Probably about 30% of the night you'll be running around like insane people, and the last 20% will be spent getting killed, or what the game calls the kill scenes. When the kill scene starts, the audience goes quiet and focuses on the scene, as a killer tries to take you out in one gruesome way or another, lovingly described by the director. The characters attempt to avoid death by making stat checks. When you succeed at a stat check, you gain survival points, and if you get 8, you manage to escape the kill for now. If you run out of survival points, the director describes your death in a grisly detail. Bleh. A perfect mixture of die rolls and good narration make a memorable death scene, and make this one of the most exciting features of the game. There's a lot more cool bits, to the rules, but that gives you a basic feel for the game. Okay, now's the time to talk about the cooliness of the game, the things that you're probably going to like. First off, if after reading this book, for some reason you don't want to run it for your slasher flick adventure, it's still a great source book for the slasher flick genre. I mean, it literally covers everything you could possibly want to know, both as a fan and especially as a gamer and especially as a director or a game master. Second, what's really good about this game is it doesn't try to do too much. I mean, it focuses on one topic, and every single thing it does is to make that topic work, and that's what makes it such a great game. And finally, for a small press production, there's an awful lot of supplements out for it and adventures, and I have a feeling there's just going to be a whole lot more coming down the pipeline. It's a really good game. And of course, after doing the real cool stuff of the game, we got to go over the things that might possibly be pitfalls. First off, I'm going to do the obvious. While the writing in this book and the content and the graphic layout are really top-notch, the artwork, some people are going to have a little problem with. While part of me appreciates the cheesy, campy, humorous tone of it, and, the feel it lends to the rules, there's another part of me that thinks the game deserved just a little bit better. It's going to be an opinion thing. Second, this game, probably more than any other game I played, really requires the players to really get into it and really get into the role-playing and really get into the genre. They really want to be in a horror movie, and they have to do the stupid things that people do in horror movies and that you say, no, don't do that. They have to do those things. Plus, since you're playing multiple characters, they have to really get into these roles, sometimes interacting with themselves. If you have guys who have problems, 1 second playing, yo, I'm Larry the Stoner dude, man. And the next second they're, hi, I'm Candy the cheerleader, woo, woo. And the next second it's like, hello, I'm Ruben, the bisexual hairdresser. And, hi, I'm Sonia, the slutty camp counselor. If your players can't do that, you might not get out of this game the full potential that you could. Finally, probably the biggest pitfall of this game is the fact that it's not something that you can continuously play. It's not something you're going to play a campaign. What it really does well is like a one-shot, one-night thing. You play for about 3-4 hours and you finish the story. And the reason is because the excitement level and the action level and the intensity of the role-playing is so strong that it's hard to keep up that level of enthusiasm, for more than one session. We tried playing this game. One time we had an adventure that was spanning over 2 sessions, and we tapped ourselves out on the first session, and by the time we got to the second session, it was like... So from that point on, when we played it, we just played it in the one session. The other thing, which kind of goes along with that, is the fact this isn't a game that you're going to play week after week. This is something you're going to pull out, 2, maybe 3 times a year, probably around Halloween for sure. And you're going to get a lot of fun out of it when you play it, and it's definitely worth the money for that. So yeah, if you're looking for a generic horror role-playing game to do just about everything, this probably isn't it. But if you want to run a slasher flick that really feels like a slasher flick, this is the definitive game on that. If you're going to play that, I give it a big 2 thumbs up.
Nice review, bitch.